She survived a horror car crash. She discovered her mother faked her own death. She's been arrested, blackmailed, and heartbroken more times than most Weatherfield residents twice her age. And now, just when it looks like Betsy Swain might finally get the happy ending she deserves, Coronation Street is quietly setting up the biggest twist of her young life, and it's coming at breakneck speed. Fans are buzzing, cast members are teasing a big year, and there's a flash forward already on record that should be making everyone nervous. If you think Betsy's story is settling down, think again, because this is only the beginning of what insiders are calling one of the most important chapters of her time on the cobbles. If you're new to Coronation Street or you've fallen behind on Weatherfield's chaos, don't worry. We're going to catch you up on everything before we get into the latest. Betsy Swain, played by rising star Sydney Martin, first arrived on the cobbles back in June 2024, introduced as a friend of Sabrina Dedaba before the show revealed her real identity, the daughter of no-nonsense police officer DS Lisa Swain, played by Vicky Myers. Since then, Betsy has barely had a moment to breathe. She's been at the center of blackmail plots, love triangles, criminal cover-ups, and family secrets that would make even the most hardened Corrie veterans' head spin. For those who need reminding, Betsy's storyline kicked off with her taking full advantage of Weatherfield's darker corners almost immediately. She seized an opportunity to blackmail sinister villain Joel Deering, and she also targeted businesswoman Carla Connor, using information she'd gathered to manipulate the situation to her advantage. At the time, Vicky Myers admitted that her character Lisa would be utterly horrified if she ever discovered just how devious her daughter's schemes really were. It set the tone early. Betsy might be young, but she's never been afraid to play dirty when she feels backed into a corner. From there, things only escalated. Betsy became romantically entangled with troubled teen Mason Ratcliffe, a relationship that ended in heartbreak when Mason chose to focus on work over their romance. Feeling humiliated and rejected, Betsy retaliated in the most Corrie way possible. She framed him for theft, planting a stolen purse in his jacket at Speed Doll, which saw him hauled back into custody. That betrayal didn't just end her romance with Mason. It also pulled her closer to another familiar face on the cobbles, Dylan Wilson, the son of Sean Tully. Dylan and Betsy's connection has been simmering for a long time, largely built on shared trauma. The pair went through the devastating loss of Mason Ratcliffe together, an event that left lasting scars on both of them. Betsy actor Sydney Martin has spoken about how that shared grief became the emotional foundation of their bond, explaining that the two of them had to explore those emotions together, which gave their relationship real history and weight. That emotional groundwork is exactly why what's happening now feels so significant. This isn't a random soap romance thrown together for drama's sake. It's been building for months. Now, here's where the story really heats up. As Betsy approached her 18th birthday, romantic tension exploded into the open. She found herself caught between two boys, bad boy rival Brody Michaelis and her longtime friend Dylan. Betsy ultimately chose Dylan, telling him Brody was trying too hard, and the two grew closer during a wild night out that culminated in them sleeping together. It was a huge coming-of-age moment for Betsy, turning 18, falling into a new relationship, stepping into adulthood all in the same emotional whirlwind. And that's precisely the kind of too much, too fast energy fans have started worrying about. Because on the very same night Betsy and Dylan crossed that line, chaos struck. A man believed to be a mugger turned out to be someone Betsy never expected to see again. Her mother, Becky, who everyone believed had died 4 years earlier in what turned out to be a staged police cover-up. Imagine finding that kind of life-altering hope, a mother back from the dead. In the same 24 hours you're navigating a brand new relationship and legally becoming an adult. That's the kind of emotional overload Coronation Street has built Betsy's world around, and it's exactly why her storyline right now feels like it's moving at lightning speed. The Becky reveal alone reshaped everything for Betsy. At first, she couldn't process it. The grief, the confusion, the sheer disbelief of seeing a parent she'd mourned standing in front of her. But eventually, Betsy came around, allowing Becky back into her life and even into moments of ordinary family joy, including a touching scene where Lisa and Becky modeled some of Betsy's college fashion designs together, laughing like the family unit they once were. For a moment, it looked like healing. It looked like hope. But longtime Corrie fans know better than to trust a moment of peace on this show, and sure enough, the ground shifted again almost immediately. By October, Betsy found herself arrested for vandalizing the car of Di Costello, a crime she didn't actually commit, orchestrated instead to keep Becky in line with a shadowy agenda. Becky ultimately proved her daughter's innocence using CCTV footage, but the price of protecting Costello's secret about the faked death meant Becky had to agree to leave the country again, retreating to Spain. Rather than accept losing her mother all over again, Betsy secretly began making plans to go with her, and to try to convince Lisa to come too. It's a plotline that has only continued to intensify heading into the new year, with Becky's desperate attempts to reclaim her family described by actress Amy Cudden as an all-consuming obsession, someone who has spent years watching from a distance and is no longer willing to stay away. And here's where the too fast element becomes impossible to ignore. At the same time Becky is scheming to pull her daughter and estranged wife away from Weatherfield, Lisa's relationship with Carla Connor has been racing toward the altar. After a series of botched proposal attempts, including one plan that famously required Betsy to step in and save the day when it nearly fell apart, Lisa ultimately got down on one knee herself, and Carla said yes. For Betsy, that means watching her mother build an entirely new life and a new marriage with Carla, all while her biological mother Becky is quietly working in the shadows to pull the family apart and start over somewhere else entirely. It's an emotional tug-of-war that would be overwhelming for anyone, let alone a teenager barely out of her school uniform. Adding even more fuel to the fire, Coronation Street has already teased a genuinely alarming flash-forward. In scenes previewed ahead of Lisa and Carla's wedding, viewers got a glimpse of Betsy being formally interviewed by police after discovering a body on the very day of the wedding. That single detail has sent the Corrie fan community into overdrive, with theories swirling about exactly whose body it could be and how Betsy, who has already survived so much trauma in such a short space of time, ends up connected to it. Combine that with her ongoing involvement in the dramatic Corriedale crash storyline earlier this year, which was reportedly triggered by her mother Becky's own manipulative choices, and it becomes very clear that Betsy's hope for a normal life keeps getting derailed by fresh disaster. So where does that leave her relationship with Dylan, the one bright spot fans have actually been rooting for? According to Dylan actor Liam McShane, the coming months are set to put their romance firmly in the spotlight, describing this as a huge year for his character and confirming that a major, sensitive coming-of-age storyline is being developed specifically around Betsy and Dylan's relationship. He went further, praising the show's long history of tackling difficult, important subject matter through its younger characters, and expressed genuine excitement about diving deeper into it. When asked directly whether he'd like to see Dylan and Betsy's relationship deepen on screen, McShane didn't hold back his enthusiasm, crediting his real-life friendship with Sidney Martin for making the prospect even more appealing. Fans have picked up on all of this, and the online reaction has been a genuine mix of excitement and nerves. Longtime viewers have praised the emotional groundwork the show has laid for Dylan and Betsy, pointing to their shared grief over Mason as proof this isn't a rushed, shallow soap romance, but something with real substance behind it. At the same time, plenty of fans are voicing concern that Betsy's life is simply moving too quickly for comfort. A new relationship, a resurrected mother, a looming wedding, and now a chilling flash-forward all crashing into each other within the space of a single storyline arc. On social media, viewers have been dissecting every clue from the flash-forward footage, trying to work out whose body Betsy stumbles upon, while others are debating whether Becky's scheming will ultimately succeed in pulling Betsy away from Weatherfield entirely and away from Dylan just as their relationship is supposed to be taking center stage. There's also been considerable chatter around Sydney Martin herself, with fans excited to see her stock rising both on and off the cobbles. Beyond Coronation Street, Martin has recently branched out into other projects, teaming up with Hollyoaks actress Isabel Smith for a new short film called Favorite, in which the pair play lifelong best friends across a dual timeline drama. It's a reminder that away from the chaos of Weatherfield, Martin's career is very much on the rise, something Corrie fans have been quick to celebrate, seeing it as a sign of just how much industry recognition her performance as Betsy has earned her. So, what does all of this mean going forward? If the show follows through on what's already been teased, we're looking at a genuinely pivotal stretch for Betsy Swain. On one hand, there's real hope, a loving relationship with Dylan finally being given the spotlight it deserves, a mother back from the presumed dead, and a new blended family forming around Lisa and Carla's marriage. On the other hand, every one of those hopeful threads comes tangled with danger. Becky's secretive plotting threatens to upend the family Betsy has only just started to feel settled in. The unresolved mystery of that wedding day body suggests tragedy is waiting just around the corner. And the sheer speed at which Betsy has been forced to grow up, falling in love, reconnecting with a mother she thought was gone, facing arrest, surviving a car crash, all within roughly a year, raises real questions about whether this coming-of-age story is building toward triumph or heartbreak. Given Coronation Street's track record, it's rarely one or the other cleanly. Expect twists that test Dylan and Betsy's relationship just as it's solidifying, likely tied to Becky's ongoing agenda and the fallout from Costello's cover-up. Expect the wedding day flash-forward to loom larger the closer the show gets to Lisa and Carla's big day, with fan theories only intensifying as ITV inevitably drops fresh spoiler clips in the run-up. And expect Sydney Martin and Liam McShane to be given real, meaty material to work with, given how openly the cast has already discussed the significance of what's coming. To wrap it all up, Betsy Swain's Coronation Street journey has reached one of its most emotionally loaded points yet. A once-in-a-lifetime kind of hope, a mother returning from the dead, a blossoming romance with Dylan, a new family forming around her, is colliding head-on with fresh danger, secrecy, and an ominous flash-forward that promises tragedy is never far behind on Weatherfield's cobbles. Whether this coming-of-age chapter ends in genuine happiness for Betsy or drags her into yet another crisis remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. The show isn't slowing down, and neither is Betsy's roller coaster of a life. That's everything we know so far about Betsy's dramatic new chapter on Coronation Street. What do you think is really going on with that mysterious wedding day body, and do you think Dylan and Betsy's relationship can survive everything heading their way? Let us know your predictions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Coronation Street news, spoilers, and updates delivered straight to you as soon as the drama unfolds.